What's up, guys? So it's been a little while. I have to get a new computer, which hopefully I got tomorrow, and I did if you're seeing this, or I did at some point, and you're seeing this now. This video, I'm not going to edit at all, not because I'm tired of editing, but just because I thought I'd switch it up and make it more interesting. Bam! Look at that. Today, we're going to finalize, well, not finalize, far from finalize, but begin the planning for that. Bolt it down, maybe have to put a spacer in there, drill the hole there, take that old balancer off, replace it with a Corvette spaced one and water pump that I just got with that intake in that order of stuff, of parts. And here we go, play the intro. See how easy this comes off with the new tool. Wow. That's like the strongest impact gun I've ever seen.
It's all in the impact.
Yeah. So what we got here is the Summit Racing. Where is that? Oh, right there. SFI spec 18.1. This thing's fancy as shit. So it has the Corvette spacing, as it says on here. GM, LS1, LS2, G8.
Only for bracket racing. That's not gonna work.
Bracket racer, shit. Well, might have to return that. But anyways, the plan for today is to take this cover off since we have the truck balancer off. Take this cover off and check that cam plate, because that was the problem that the shit horse had low oil pressure for the longest time with. And I don't want to put this all together and then have the same issue and take it all apart. So we're just gonna deal with that right now. All right, so we got all that stuff off there. Pretty easy. Cover, timing gear. Set up for front cam sensor. That's that right there. And this thing is no good. Probably would have given me no oil pressure, or very low, had we used this in the car.
Yeah, it's the same thing with the shit horse. If you put a straight edge on here, it's raised up like a couple thou, if that. And I think the new one that we got for the shit horse was significantly less depressed. Is the word.
These two holes have high pressure oil, and the oil has to transfer in between there and not spray out all over the place in here, and that's kind of what that gasket does. So if that's not sealing well, then you lose pressure. It's like having a leaky hose, kind of, essentially, I guess. If you want to put it that way, small leak in a hose.
Leaky hose, yeah.
No, non-edited video, guys. Woo, yeah. So something next. It's been a while since I took a clip, so we put the front cover back on just to cover that up so nothing gets in there in the meantime. Right now, I'm just trying to figure out if I want to run, like, I guess about like that would be a 1-inch carb spacer. Just because, I mean, right now, we actually put a flat hood on it earlier, Clayton stock one. And it seemed like it fit. We couldn't really tell for sure because the hood hinge, notice this, guys, I have no hood hinge holes here. Their body worked shut. It's fancy show car stuff. Anyways, the place for the hood hinge on the stock hood hit the Zeus fastener pedestal thing here. Whatever you want to call it, whatchamacallit thinger. So yeah, I mean, it looks good like this, but it's hard to hold and show you, but I don't know. Something like that might look just a bit better. And I have my big ass hood over here, so I can basically run a 4-inch spacer if I would like to. And we're just comparing my setup to this. The carby setup. My car is almost like the younger brother of that one now. Oh, no editing. Oh, man. Cobwebs in here. We got to start working on this thing more, guys. And by that, I mean me, because you guys can't work on it, obviously. Yeah, I don't know. I was waiting for these parts. Waiting to order them. I don't know. It's expensive, guys. And I don't know. Life. I feel weird talking about shit like this to YouTube, so that's why I usually don't. So yeah, but gotta get it going. I mean, we got another project Mustang that has to go in this garage now, so time to get her out. I just gotta figure out the height of this. I also don't know. I think a throttle body spacer will probably help this situation. It does have this plenum in here. I guess I didn't show this to you guys yet, but get some light. It does have this divider in the elbow here, which I assume might help the front to back distribution of air inside the intake. So I don't know if I'd want a spacer that also has that or just an open one. Thoughts?
I'm just joining the conversation. I don't know.
And I don't know if a spacer, like you'd assume a spacer would help.
I would think it would help.
And really, could have a pretty big one and it's still almost just sitting
inch and a half.
level with the cowl. So yeah, that's where we're at right now. I'll turn the camera on and when I'm gonna ramble on about stuff some more. 2 inches, yeah, that's what we're looking for. So right now we're having a battle of ideas. First, Clayton went through the scrap metal here, looking for some 2 inch. We're trying to replicate having a throttle body spacer, plenum spacer, whatever you want to call it, so I can make the hole and start doing the cold side stuff. I found this piece of bar, it's 2 inch. I kind of want to use this. He thinks tape.
The tape is too small.
No, let's see. Put it back on. I thought it was the best idea you had all day.
I think I got a wider roll here.
Okay.
Okay. So how much was that? Inch and a half or something?
I don't know. It doesn't. Looks like an inch, 3/4 inch to me. I'll just hold on to this perfectly flat piece of 2 inch steel for the moment.
There, now we just need a couple nuts. And that's got to be real close to 2 inch.
Maybe onto something.
Now you know.
I mean, this thing could have scratched up my mint condition, unscratched engine bay.
What were you going to do with that?
Just go like this, but like inside, right?
It needs more. It's not quite 2 inch.
My idea was to go like this and then put it down. Would that not work?
I don't like it.
Anyways, so we're gonna do some tape stuff and then I'm gonna cut another ugly hole in the firewall like that one. All right, so after Clayton tried jamming all the tape and other things he could find laying around the garage, box of condoms and all kinds of things, it wasn't working. So I just cut these 2 pieces off that other big piece and we're gonna do a something like
didn't even deburr them.
That and that, and I can't.
We'll get the thing.
Like that.
Grab the elbow. Oh, fuck. It's pinching me on the
Sorry. Yeah, and then.
What is it? Are those fine nuts?
Yeah, we'll put the nuts on there, and then that'll give us an exact measurement. And then we're gonna grab Clayton's 2.5 inch cowl hood that goes on that car at times, and just to test fit, because I probably want to run about a 2.5 inch, because I think a cowl hood looks good on these cars. I don't necessarily want one this huge anymore, especially if I don't need it, and maybe not to the windshield. Have one that's, you know, normal cowl like that. So with the 2 inch steel spacer, we have the Clayton hood on here, 2.5 inch cowl. We have a handy inspection hole here. And as you can see, that's some tight fucking fitment there.
But it fits.
It fits perfect there. It might be hard for you guys to see, but now you can't really probably see.
Keep in mind you're going to come up just a little bit more with all your gaskets in place.
If I can hold this right and then zoom, maybe right there. You still probably can't see. Maybe there you go. In there, the top of that elbow. Well, the flange on the elbow. It just barely touches. Like if you.
It's a hood brace.
Well, and it is touching where there's a brace underneath this hood. So the hood I get possibly doesn't have that brace, or I can just cut that brace in that spot. Yeah, exactly.
Oh, nice.
It's hitting there, so that can be just trimmed. So a 2.5 inch pin-on cowl hood is what I'm after. So if you have one, send it to me. I'll trade you this one. If you have a Sonic Blue car, it would be the perfect swap.
That's a nice hood.
It is. This is a nice hood. It's in decent shape.
Same as mine, pretty much.
Yeah, it's pretty huge, and I used to need almost all of it, at least if you wanted to run a air cleaner. But yeah, onward. All right, so Clayton was just making fun of my idea here. Just trying to get a visual representation of how this is gonna look with something in there. So we went down from 2 inches. Now we're at 1.5 inches with just a piece of steel tube, square tube in there. I don't know. What do you think, guys? Not that you can tell me, but I think 1.5 inches looks pretty good. Could go to 1 inch. I'm not sure the performance difference in the horsepower myself.
As much as you can get.
As high as you can get.
As high as you can get.
So I got this block in here now, 1 inch. Aluminum, right? You said? I called it steel earlier. 1 inch. Decided to go with the 1 inch, and you know, looking at it like this, with the elbow on there, I don't know, guys. It might sound stupid, but the whole reason I got this was to go through the firewall, but now I'm thinking, what if I use that U and come into it? No, I'm not. I'm just fucking around. Clayton said that just to be funny, and I thought it was stupid and funny. So, but anyways,
spent $1,000 to end up where you started.
Not quite 1,000. I guess I didn't say in this video or any of the videos you've seen, but the intake is 391, and the elbow is like 120, was it, or 7? I don't know. It couldn't even been. I think it was like 140 or something, and 391 for the intake. Which is not bad.
It's all in money.
I really like how it matches the cast aluminum of the turbo.
You cast aluminum.
As I've mentioned 1,000 times. But anyways, progress update. I've marked on the firewall here where I have to cut this flange meeting point spot weld joint area. See, this is usually where I'd edit, guys, but no edits this time. Woo! And yeah, so I'm going to cut that.
Dig a hole.
Dig a hole. Quick update, I did some more cutting up of this beautiful blue Fox body. Cut the flange where it meets the two pieces of cowl here, which is step number 1. And I'm thinking now I'll just take a piece of paper or something that can bend and kind of put it on there, and then I can marker on the firewall the hole, because I want to try get the hole as hole-like, round-like as a hole can be. This hole was a rage hole. I don't know. I wasn't really mad, but I kind of just wanted to get it done.
The glory hole.
And I couldn't see too well, and I was just fucking giving her. So I'm gonna be try another edit usually, but I'm gonna try to make that a bit nicer. This one I'm gonna put some rubber edging around anyways, so you won't see that. It doesn't really matter, but we'll try and make it nice there and try and make it the same, so I can use the same rubber edging and the holes will look kind of similar and such. So yeah, I'm gonna trace that. And then the next step, yeah, I won't turn the camera on until we've got some mega holes here, guys. All the holes. Instead of filling holes, we're making holes tonight. So after hours of deliberation, we have decided to put the hole here, as you may or may not be able to see with the black permanent marker. The firewall. Cameraman Clayton just killing it. Smooth. Is that a gimbal or an arm? So now I'm gonna drill a hole here and use a grinding implement of some kind to grind the rest up. Here we go. Get nice and close to that. Action. Oh yeah. Is it gonna work because the hole isn't, you know what I mean? It's not tight on the drill bit? Yeah, that'll be good. All right, so this is where we're at currently. Oh my God, it's a hole in my car. So that's basically finalized. Like I said, it took a lot of measuring and time. You can see it's it meets that seam, the inside cowl part, the top part, and the bottom part. And the way it's looking right now, the diameter is gonna cut into the bottom cowl part. So I'm basically just gonna make like a U cutout here, where that'll fit in a piece something like this. Kind of like that, which will go down, then into the intercooler, which the inlet is there. And you guys have seen that in previous videos. But with that said, I'm gonna call it a night here because I don't want to do any more cutting to this so much without having the finalized parts and everything, how it's gonna fit. Clayton said it's better that way. Yeah, so as always, like, comment, subscribe, and share, and
check. Are you looking at me?
Make us not have to work any longer.
Yeah.
All right, guys.
Check you later.
That's a hole. All right, so anyways, the real ending of this video, not that silly one. Basically here, I already said this, but just to refresh your mind, cut this, weld another straight piece, V-band. That's pretty straightforward. That's connected to the intercooler. Yeah, I mean, it's coming together pretty good now. I do have to get that throttle body. Also have to get exhaust wrap for that, so then I can paint it with like header paint and wrap it, and that can be final installed. Also have to paint this one manifold since I switched it up. Water pump. Oh yeah, you guys haven't seen that yet. Well, whatever, you can see it later. I got a AC Delco Corvette water pump to go along with the Corvette spaced, F-body spaced, whatever you want to call it, balancer. So yeah, I mean, injectors, fuel system, and wiring is basically all that's going to be left after I finish cutting this hole, which I'm going to wait to get the proper throttle body for, which should be here soon, along with those other parts and things. And I say, make us quit our jobs. Just to clear, I never really talk about this much either. We don't really make too much from the channel at all. Like, this whole computer thing, that was mostly from, we had a really good live stream where a bunch of you guys donated a whole bunch of money, and it was crazy. So we're putting that back in the channel by getting the computer, and the rest of the money really just goes to parts. Like, even if that, like, it definitely doesn't pay for our builds by any means. So quitting my job to do YouTube isn't really the goal. More so we would have a shop and YouTube would help that, but we'd be doing shop stuff. And anyways, you don't care. But yeah, pretty stoked. This thing is looking not too shabby at all. And I'm really glad I spent the money on this intake, I think. So yeah, bye.